What's good, everybody? In today's video, we're going to review the Trifo Lucy Ultra Robot Vacuum Cleaner. Alright, so you press this button and you can see how much dirt it picked up. It's still quite impressive of one run. This is, in my opinion, better than the Roombas. I've been using it for over a year and I got to share my experience with you guys. The vacuum is the suction power of 3000 PA and it has a mop feature built in. It can be operated by a mobile app. 74. Our vacuum cleaner in real time is kind of moving around. So we can set designated area cleanings. It's got a camera. It works with Google Assistant or Alexa, so you can just voice command it to clean your house. And it gives you up to 120 minutes of cleaning time, which is more than enough because on 1200 square foot single floor, it does it in about 70 minutes. So if you want to know more, watch the whole video. Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm going to show you Trifo Lucy vacuum cleaner and why it's better than some of the Roombas out there. I'm not going to try and convince you or persuade you. I'm just going to show you my experience and having this for almost 2 years. We're talking about replacing parts, or actually that I did replace the parts, and some of the features. So here it is, just leaving the docking station. You can see that it's got a front sensor and then there is a sensor underneath. And it's scheduled to turn on every day at the same time. Well, we have obviously repositioned our vacuum cleaner multiple times, and to reposition that charging station, all it takes simply is just unplugging it, plugging it in, and then the GPS, as soon as you turn on the vacuum, is going to recognize that that's the new charging station. It may get stuck once, but after that you're pretty much good to go. The new firmware upgrade that we've installed over the last year and a half on this have definitely improved the vacuum's ability to clean faster. Definitely turn on the edging because you can see how close the vacuum is getting to the edges, right? If you don't have the edging mode turned on, it's not going to force itself with the brush towards the end. That's what edging does. It's going to pull all that dust if you have pets from the sideboards and baseboards and all that. The latest upgrade actually made the vacuum much faster. You can see how good the object avoidance is. It goes pretty close to the edges, so we're in edge mode. Remove. It does an amazing job actually cleaning up. All in all, it takes about, I would say, an hour to clean the downstairs. There's space behind that wall, and then we have this whole other section here. So it's about a little more than 1100 square feet, and it does it about an hour and 10 minutes, depending if there's obstacles. Like we moved some island over there, so it's gonna take a little longer because it has to navigate around that. But all in all, it's also got a mop feature. Configure it is really easy. It takes literally like 20 seconds. It just gives you a QR code on your app, and then you stick it in front of the camera, you follow the steps, and it just activates it. Now it uses up about 56 to 60% of battery to clean our entire floor, which is all this, then we have this, and we have this, and then we have this, and then there's a bathroom around there. So all this takes about 60 minutes, 62 minutes, and uses up about 60% battery. So one thing you want to consider that if your drapes are all the way down to the floor and you have edging turned on, at least for Trifo, you definitely want to make sure to turn that off because it's going to suck up your drapes, especially if they're the sheer ones, the really thin ones. So what we did is we just took scissors and we just chopped them up as much as we needed to. Of course, you can tape them up with the tape. But yeah, you never want to have these touching the ground. You want to be at least 1.5 inches elevated so the vacuum doesn't just start sucking it up. Because remember, it's that little brush that's on the vacuum that pulls this whole thing in. So it will get tangled up and it will force you to recover your vacuum cleaner. So that's the thing about the drapes. So I guess the question is, how loud is this vacuum cleaner? Now, can you watch TV? Yeah, you can increase the volume on your TV and you can still watch it, hopefully with subtitles on. But let's see how loud this is just from here. .74, right? So you can see right here that our vacuum cleaner in real time is kind of moving around. So we can set designated area cleanings, right? If we want to, you can zoom in, we can name our different rooms. So you can pick on the one you want. Of course, if you want to rename all of them. But it's a great app, and you can start, recharge, pause. You got manual control, you can clean up, set up. This is where you essentially assign how strong you want the vacuum. It's cleaning schedule, carpet mode, quite a lot. So in the app, you essentially assign a room, like room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It kind of does it on its own. After it does a pass around your house, and then you can basically link it to Google or Alexa and say clean living room, clean kitchen. That way, if you have a big mess, you don't have to wait for it to do an entire cycle of the house or your apartment. It can just start vacuuming that one particular room that you set. An additional feature that it's got built in is you can set no clean zones or zones where you avoid. So that way, if you wanted to avoid scratching the base, you can draw a little circle on the app, like in red, to say, do not go near this. Got it? Also, if you notice that there are spots in your house that the vacuum cleaner gets stuck, for example, maybe you have a couch or a corner that the vacuum cleaner gets stuck and it just tangles up every single time. You set that as a no clean zone, you draw a little box on the app, and then next time it comes to here, it's going to avoid it and keep going. That's a great feature. So once it's done its chores, it's going to navigate back to its charging station, wherever you set it. So we set it right there, and you can change this. Not an issue, it's just going to reposition itself. Now some of the Trifos don't do a good job, but you can see how well it navigates itself, and you can see that it's charging. Now I want to show you guys see how much dirt it got on one session. That is actually quite a lot of dirt that it picked up. Yeah, and sometimes you also need to grab it from here, right? Because it gets stuck. Now there are two buttons here. One is home, so you can go and tell it to basically go back to the charging base by pressing a button, and that button also operates here. Or you can do everything in your app, of course. All right, so you press this button and you can see how much dirt it picked up. Of course, if you don't have a pet, it'd probably be less, but still quite impressive from one run. The big question is, actually, how often do you have to replace the HEPA filters? How often do you have to replace the parts on this? Because with iRoombas, you have to replace them every 2 months or 3 months. Now, the app does tell you that you should replace certain parts, but of course you can avoid that. I'm going to show you underneath what it looks like. Okay, so you got these heavy-duty rubber wheels here, another little wheel here. This is the brush, right? So this is what they tell you to replace. There's a screw in here, you take it out, you can buy these pretty cheap all over the internet. You don't have to, I wouldn't buy it from the company itself, but that's just me. This, you also have to clean this sometimes. Of course, if you have carpets or pets, definitely want to clean it more. This is the roller. You can also buy these. These are universal, so you can buy these, but we haven't actually bought one yet, and I've had this for almost 2 years. You basically just do a good job cleaning. If you're not going to do a good job cleaning, then you're going to get tangles, and then all sorts of stuff is going to mess up. You just put that in, and that clicks into place, and that's it. Now the mop attachment is actually right, where is it? Yeah, right here. So there's a felt pad here, and then the other part essentially just attaches to this. You put the pad on, it's Velcro, and then it mops. That's basically it. There is a reservoir. There's also a sensor right here, you can see it, and there's another little camera sensor here, and here, and here. That's for avoidance. Oh, and here, and here. That's for so it knows when it bumps into things not to keep going. It's connected through its own power. Got to be connected to the wall. This is the cube for it. Do not try and use other AC adapter. I've tried it and it just doesn't charge it. So if you want to get a second one, you want to get proper voltage cube. And that's the video. So thanks so much for watching. I definitely recommend this. We'll see you in the next one.